how do we call a function in Racket? And I realize I've already given this away in the previous lecture, but so let me lead up to it by comparing to what you've seen in Java. In Java, you might see something like, let's look at raising a power. You might see something like math.pow of 2 raised to the 10th power. In Racket, well, first of all, in Racket, there's a minor thing that it's not called math.pow, it's called expt. Okay. And here's 2 interesting things. We're going to go ahead and take that comma and get rid of it. We have a minimalist language. We don't need commas. We require space between 2 and 10, clearly. But if you have a space there, you don't really need a comma. That becomes redundant. So, okay. And here's the one interesting thing. We're going to take that open paren and we're going to move it up in front of the name of the function. Okay. So I run this. We will get back 2 to the 10th power, 1024. Okay, so just take the name of the, same thing you do in Java, but get rid of the commas, move that parenthesis to the very front. Okay, so how are we going to add 2 plus 2? Well, okay. Well, now of course you want to say something like, oh, in Java it was 2 plus 2, but you know the plus is a function just like exponent was. If Java were more consistent, you'd say something like plus, and then pass in, let's say 2 plus 3. You'd say, hey, I want to call plus on 2 and 3. Yeah, that'd actually be more consistent. Java says, no, we're going to have functions, and then we're going to have operators that are just functions, but you write them differently. You have to put the name of the function in a different place. You put in between its arguments rather than in front, like exponent and all the other functions in Java. So, okay. So Racket says, no, we're going to be nice, simple. There's one way to call a function. Get rid of the comma. We're going to say, put the open paren before the function name, plus of 2, 3. Call this a prefix notation, which note that most functions in Java, like math.pow, are prefix notation. It's only a few operators that are not. So, and they have to have a distinction between function and operator. In Racket, function. There is no operator that's different from function. So, okay. So again, these are some of the things you have in a more minimalist language. And you think about what you gain and lose. It's much more elegant this way. On the other hand, we're so used to writing 2 plus 3 that it's kind of annoying that I have to put in extra parentheses there and plus of 2, 3. You suddenly get used to that and start preferring it after a while, perhaps. But we're in this class, one thing we're doing is thinking about trade-offs and how different approaches can be better and worse for the programmer. And different people have made different choices, and we're seeing some of these choices now. Okay, what else? Substring. I want to go ahead and call substring. Let's just try this. Let's see if you can go ahead and try it. Let's take Mississippi and take the substring from index 2 up until 5. And I'll give you a hint. In Racket, the name of the substring function is substring, just like it is in Java. Go ahead and pause and get substring of Mississippi from 2 to 5, I think I said. Okay, unpause, let's double check. Name, open paren, name of function. And you know, there's something a little bit different than Java going on here. In Racket, this is same old, same old. You might have to go and look up in the documentation what order do these arguments come in, but you probably would have guessed this order. It's the same order that Java uses. Except in Java, you don't type substring open paren Mississippi, comma 2, comma 5. You say Mississippi dot substring open paren 2, comma 5. Yeah, so you can actually do that. Let's pull up get this here. And just to convince you that you really can, just type this in. We're going to go ahead and type Mississippi.substring of 2, comma 5. And we get back SSI, just like we did in the Racket. Down on the bottom window, we have SSI after 1024 and 5. Okay, so gosh, here's another place where Java, how does it call functions? Name of function, open paren arguments, except operator is infix. Oh, and methods, object methods, you put the object first, even though that is sort of one of the inputs to the substring quote unquote function. So yeah, Java has, we've seen 3 different ways of calling a function in Java, 3 different syntaxes, 1 syntax in Racket. And later I'll come back and I think I'll count up something about 12 or 13 different syntaxes for calling functions in Java that are all just one thing in Racket. So again, that's what I'm doing is one reason I'm choosing Racket is showing you a minimalist language that doesn't say, hey, let's have a different syntax for methods and infix operators and regular functions. So, okay. Sounds good. Let me pause here. How do I pause? Shift Command 2. Remember that. Shift Command 2. If I ever forget in the future, remind me. Barlin, Shift Command 2. What the heck. I'll break the video here and we'll put the next thing into its own little 5-minute snippet. We'll talk about expressing the actual syntax for calling a function in Java and in Racket. Oh, Command Shift 2. Command Shift 2. No, that wasn't it. Oh, here I am typing stuff. Okay, we'll have to edit this. Shift, Command. I'll go through the menu here. Sorry about that.